everyone and welcome to another Flosstube video. This is Flosstube number 2 and today I have a not fully finished object parade. So this is projects that I have finished the stitching but I haven't like framed them or put them into pillows or anything like that. I have 27 projects to show you today, so we should really jump into it. But first, hi. If you have been here before and seen my one previous video, thank you so much for wanting to see more videos with me. That warms my heart. If this is your new video, your first video with me, hi, my name is Marika. I am from Sweden. I live here with my boyfriend and my 2 cats, and I miss crafts a lot. I do a lot of crafting. I do a lot of crafting in different shapes and forms, and in periods I usually always have some kind of cross stitch that I'm doing, but in periods I get a little bit cross stitch obsessed, which I am right now. Today's video I'm just gonna show you projects that I've done in the past. They are approximately from 2013 and forward, and it's project that just didn't become something to hang on my walls. I have done a lot of more projects, but most of them I've given away to friends and family, and I don't have them to show you, so I'm going to show you these. These all are photographed, so I'm going to show you photographs while I'm talking about all of the different projects. And the reason for that is because it's easier to see things that way, and also I was able to iron everything, photograph everything, and kind of do it piece by piece. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. On one little note though, every project that I am going through here, if I have a corresponding pattern or know a corresponding pattern, I will comment right down below. You will find links to the products if they're still in print. There's a freebie in there that I have stitched before, and yeah, there are some projects though that I can't tell you. I can tell you where they're from, but not exactly. But let's start and get through them. We'll get there. But yeah, links in the doobly-doo. So to start off with, I'm going to go through my Heaven and Earth designs. I have 5 finished Heaven and Earth designs, and yeah, one of them is my first start, but also my next to latest finish. So yeah, let's jump into it. The first finished project is Wrath. Wrath is by Martha Dalig. It's a Heaven and Earth design, as I said, and she's part of the 7 sins. So 7 sins are 7 ladies that represents the 7 sins. They are beautiful, they are huge, and she is stitched from the regular pattern on 25 count 2/1. I love the thickness. I talked about it last video. I just completely love the texture that you get with 2/1 on 25 count. So that is my preferred way of stitching any kind of full covered stitches. Wrath was, as I said, my first ever Heaven and Earth design. So she's gone through so many like stages. When I started stitching her, I was stitching in hand. I slowly went over to stitch with Q-snaps. I learned how to stitch double-handed, and I also learned how to park on her. So she's gone through a lot of stages, and I finally finished her in 2016. That's the word, 2016. But before I finished her, I actually had 3 other starts. My first like the second start on my Heaven and Earth designs, and also my first official finish was the Blue Dragon by Kayomi Harai, and again stitched 25 count 2/1 Heaven and Earth design pattern, regular size. He was just a bliss to stitch. Going from Wrath, which is just reds, which by the way has been shown to cause like you going crazy if you are exposed to too much red for too much long time. Some research many years ago, but it exists. And like Wrath had a tendency to make me a little bit insane. No, but going over and stitching on Blue Dragon, he's soothing. He was just lovely to stitch. I love the colors, I love the stitch. I was actually a little sad when he was finished. He's about the half size of Wrath, so that's also one of the reasons why he finished much faster. My third start and finish was the enchantment, or second finish, third start, second finish, was the Enchanted Christmas Snowman. So he's a little ornament, and the ornament is beautiful. It's fairly quick to stitch up. Just think about the ornament is 9 by 9 inches. He is pretty big, but still he's much smaller than most of the Heaven and Earth designs. Again, he stitched 2 or 1 on 25 count, and he has a little bit of Krennic like in the lamp and a little bit like shine on the snowman itself. It doesn't really show up on the footage, on the photographs. It's very hard to see like any kind of glitter in the photographs. However, he's beautiful as like the regular one, and I should really make him into an ornament. The fourth start, third finish, now we're on the right plane again, is another ornament, which is the Enchanted Christmas, with this really cute reindeer. By the way, the designer of both the Enchanted Christmas and the Enchanted Christmas Snowman is Donna Gilsinger, and I loved stitching on this too. I kind of like reindeers, and he was super adorable, so I really enjoyed that. And he was like, the more Heaven and Earth designs you stitch, the more you get kind of a feeling for it, and the faster it goes. So after I finished him, I went back, I finished Wrath, and then I started on my 5th Heaven and Earth, and that was Envy. Envy is just in greens. Loved stitching on her. However, I was in a little bit of a obsessive phase with her. I only stitched Heaven and Earths for like a year and a half. That's a year and a half I don't get back. No, but it was fun. But I do love other stitches, and after I finished her, I started Sloth, and I stitched on her for a while, and then I got burned out on stitching completely. So I'm gonna try not to do that again, but I really like Envy. Envy again is designed by Martha Dalig, and she is another of the 7 sins. She is stitched 2/1 on 25 count. So yeah, those are all of my Heaven and Earth designs. The next 4 projects are dimension projects. 2 that you already have seen, but I wanted to bring them in here because they were kind of part of my photo session. So the first one is one that you haven't seen, and that is A Row of Love. This is my love of teddy bears. My mom likes teddy bears, so I started stitching basically everything teddy bears. I stitched 2 other projects with teddy bears from Dimension before. Both of them are framed and for my mom. This one I haven't framed yet, and I really liked it, and I'm gonna keep it myself. I think they are adorable. But I did stitch it a little bit different. I think nowadays I try to stitch like just follow the page and stitch everything and try to do backstitch as I go. I didn't do that with her. the A Row of Love, and yeah, I got really bored towards the end because I think it was just the kind of half stitches on the outside, or if I did it the other way around, but anyhow, it was a strange stitch, but I really love how they turned out. The second finish I have is the Tree Frog Trio. I had seen these for years before I bought this pattern, and this is again one of these patterns that I found like on Michael's or Joann's, and I'm like, I'm gonna grab it. Now that I see it and I can get it, I'm gonna grab it. So I did, and I'm super happy that I did. I think I started when I came home because I switched out the fabric because I didn't want to stitch on Ida. By the way, I totally changed my mind about that. I love Ida at the moment, but at that moment I only wanted to do like the even weave or linen, and I think this is stitched on 32 glittery even weave. I think that is it. I have not tracked anything of this, so this is all gonna be in my mind right now, and hopefully you will enjoy it anyhow. I started to track it now because I've seen all of the Flosstube videos and I get like, oh, they know about what happened like 3 years ago. I don't. Well, I can go back to Instagram somewhat, but I don't have all the details, so now I'm starting to track them. The third one is Feasting Frenzy. Again, this is a dimension kit. I used the kit threads, I used the kit fabric, and I stitched them from, I started stitching it in this late December, early January, and finished it here in like May, maybe? Somewhere there. April, May. This was where I slowly got into cross stitching, and right now I'm really into cross stitching, like back into it all. I really like this one. The person I saw it with was Calico Whimsy. She was the one that showed me that, and yes, so happy when I found it. I think this was found on Hobby Lobby now this December. And for the fourth project, that is Believe in Santa, again by Dimension. This one I found at Hobby Lobby this last December, and I knew I wanted to stitch it, and I stitched it for Christmas in July, or Jolly July, kind of. So yeah, those were my Dimension projects that I haven't fully finished yet. Then we have two smaller projects that was supposed to be part of a bigger project. So I have these three compilation books with Margaret Cherry. Margaret Cherry does these really cute mice, kitties, dogs. They're super adorable. And I have 3 of these compilation books. I think I saved all of them. One of them is a teeny tiny calendar from like 2015 or something like that, which has 12 images, and I thought these would be awesome to make into a quilt. So I started making them, and I made 2 of them. And I love these 2 images, but they were really boring to stitch. And me feeling that if I'm gonna stitch another 10 of these, won't happen. But I think it was just me wanting to stitch something else. I don't know. Right at that moment, I didn't want to finish them. So I have 2 of these. I haven't done anything with them. Maybe I will make them into a quilt, or I just keep them. We'll see. Maybe I just make them into some kind of hanging and give them away to someone. We'll see. But I really like them. So I hope you do too. This project is one of these projects that I've had for a very long time. I think I probably bought it. I definitely bought it somewhere before 2010. So I guess between 2004 to 2010. This is I think it's a Swedish brand. It's either Permin or Svarta Fåret. which basically is black cheap. And it's just a little small tablecloth or like side tablecloth. Like it's not bigger than it's not very big. It is cross stitches and hardanger kind of mixed in, or cut thread stitches. It was a lot of fun to do. I waited for a very long time to actually do the hardanger because I was super scared of cutting the threads, but it came out pretty good. I kind of like it. I probably shouldn't have it in a pile and instead have it on a side table, but we'll see if it ever will happen to be on a side table. This project was super fun to create. It is the Red Birds and Berries. It's by Acai Press, Acai Design. The web page is Acai Press, and I will actually have this specific chart linked in the description down below because you just need to see it. All the Heaven and Earth and all the Dimension is also linked. But this one is really, oh, I love doing it. It is half of it is like cross stitches and half of it is black work. I was introduced to this designer when they had a it's called hummingbird. They had a hummingbird in one of the World of Cross Stitching magazines. So it was a hummingbird, a black work, and I did a hummingbird sal. I even have a group for it somewhere, but like it's not active and hasn't been active since like 2016 or something. But we did a sal and I stitched it. That one is actually with my father. So I gave it to my father and I don't have it, so I can't show you. But the second thing, when I finished that, I picked up two charts. One was the blue birds and berries, and one was the red birds and berries. And red birds and berries I have stitched. It is stitched on my own hand-dyed linen. So I professionally dyed for my store for a while, and this is, I think, moss that I had. I might have 1 or 2 fabric pieces left in this color, probably not in the 36 count, which this is. I think this is 36 count or 32 count, just Swagat linen. It is stitched 2/2, so just like normal. I don't know, that was counted normal when I was a child at least. And then with the DMC that it was called for, and I loved it. I really love this project, and I should really get it up on my wall because it is beautiful. You starting to see a few things, like I like birds. My father liked birds, my mom liked teddy bears, and I've been doing projects for them for so many years, so now I kind of have fallen in love with them myself and like, I want this on my wall. But yes. The next project is something you actually saw last week, and that is the Coffee Village. This is one of the projects that I'm really happy that I finally made. I got this pattern in one of these piles when I was at a retreat, my first ever crew retreat, my first ever cross stitch retreat in Crewe, Manchester. This is like 5 years ago, I think. They always have like these trade and sale piles, so you can trade with people, sale with people, patterns you haven't used or want to get rid of, stuff like that. And I picked up this Coffee Village soda stitcher and really want to make more soda stitches projects. I want to do so many projects of so many really fun creators, so we'll see if when, how. But this one is the Coffee Village, and I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces right now. This is going to be made into a wall hanging that is going to hang over my little coffee nook. So that is going to be something that is going to happen. I just need to find the perfect fabrics to kind of coordinate, you know? I need to do that too. The next two projects are the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I have made a couple of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery projects, however these two are the ones I know that I kind of haven't. I think I might have a third one somewhere, but I didn't find it this time around. So the first one is A Very Merry Christmas Town. It was a Christmas stitch along. They do a lot of stitch alongs, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and this was one of the first that I was in. The fabric is my own hand-dyed. I'm not very happy about it, but it is stitched up on that. It is a glittery fabric. I would have gone with another kind of blue. I don't feel that the blue goes together with the pink and the reds. But yeah, it's stitched. Someday maybe it's gonna be put on a frame. We'll see. We'll see. And then we have this second project. This is Story Time, also by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Really love this project. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is stitched on the correct fabric. Either I bought the kit from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery or I bought the fabric from Picture This Plus. I think it's one of the few fabrics I have that isn't my hand-dyed, that is someone else's hand-dyed. So yeah, I did love creating this though. It was beautiful. It was fun. I really like their creations. They're kind of cute and cuddly. So there will be more from them. I promise you there will be more. The next one, this is one of my absolute favorite patterns, and I've done it not once, not twice, but 3 times. So yeah, I really love it. This is Teresa Wenzler. I love Teresa Wenzler's design. She does these big dragons. She does a lot of beautiful things. She has this little freebie that you can get, and I have linked her webpage down below, and I think in the top of the text there's a link to the actual download of the pattern, but I want you to go to her webpage, so I'm gonna link you there. And that is Tempest in a Teacup. I love this beautiful little dragon. I have made it for 2 different friends, and then I have made one for myself. However, I never framed it. I really should. I really should. So someday soon, promise. Now for the next, or the rest of the projects, a few notes. All of these are from the World of Cross Stitching magazine, or from things that have come in the World of Cross Stitching magazine. So the first one is a Christmas stocking with a little hedgehog. This one, I realized while I was talking to you, came into one of the compilation videos with Margaret Cherry. When I was making my list, I forgot that that design was Margaret Cherry, but it is. So I think this is a little black book that came with one of the World of Cross Stitching magazines, and have this little snow little Christmas stocking. Super adorable. Again, stitched on my own, hand-dyed, like my experimental hand-dyed. Kind of like it. Kind of wanted the fabric to be a lighter blue or another tone of blue, but hey, I like the project. I just haven't made anything with it. Next project is a deer. I have no clue who the designer is. I know that this is from World of Cross Stitching because I picked together a couple of World of Cross Stitching magazines to make a quilt. This would be a baby quilt, and I crossed this deer, which is super adorable. And then I cross stitched this hedgehog. This hedgehog didn't fit with the color scheme, but I loved it and I wanted to stitch it, so I stitched it. But I think this was the failure when it came to this baby quilt, because it didn't end up being a baby quilt, because I stitched this, which I loved, but color-wise it didn't fit with the rest of the designs. And then we have the third of them, which is this little super cute kitty, which again I liked, but that was almost a full coverage little square, while the little deer wasn't. So yeah, those were the 3 images that I stitched for the baby quilt that never happened. Now we have this. This is, first of all, a long time coming. This is a project that I found in a World of Cross Stitching magazine from somewhere between 2004 and 2008. This is an old magazine. I couldn't find it online, so I couldn't verify which was which. I know it's after 2012 because the magazine wasn't online. But it is either the November or the December kind of magazine. No clue which issue, but this is Silent Night. I call it Silent Night, at least. I have a feeling that it was called that. This is the first project that I modified, and I modified this heavily. I cut off probably like 30 stitches from the top. So this was supposed to be like landscape or portrait shaped, so it's taller than it's wide. However, it almost got wider than tall when I cut off the top of it. And the reason for me cutting that off is that at the top of it, it was 2 angels in red, 2 bright red angels. I think they were blowing in some kind of trumpets. And I think there was like something hanging on top of it that said something. And the serenity of the bottom, I didn't feel it went with those red angels, so I cut them out because I really liked the project. I liked the bottom. So yeah, that's the first design that I actually changed anything with. And I think I did this also like 2016, 2017. I just never made it into something. I never put it into a frame. I think that was one of those projects that I just wanted to stitch. A lot of my projects are projects that I just wanted to stitch, and then when it's finished, I'm like, yeah, but where am I gonna hang this? Not that I don't have walls. All our walls are basically white. We have some hangings up here. That's it. Everything else white. So there's room. It's just I'm not sure that they fit in with the rest of the apartments. I don't know. So next, this is like this little, I don't know, it's a hanger or a little glass thing that's supposed to have little flowers. Well, they're not flowers, they're like greeneries in them. Succulents, that's the word. It's like something like a little succulent holder of some sort. I wanted to stitch it because I wanted to stitch it. This is again one of these, like, I thought it looked cool and I thought it would be fun to stitch because it's a lot of metal in it, or metallics. So I stitched it. And now it's just in a drawer. Like, I love it, but I don't want it on my walls. So I might be making these up into little things and giving them away. I don't know. Then we have this Halloween project. This Halloween project, I think I did like 2 or 3 years ago. I was obsessed with Halloween for a while. I were doing the Black Hat Society by Flosstube, which I actually have finished, and I'm gonna have to film and photograph that for you one day or another. But I was doing that one, and this one came along again in a World of Cross Stitching magazine, and I thought it was so cute, so I stitched it. And this was one of those, when I finished it, I realized I would have needed to make it on a much darker fabric. This is why I actually have bought some fabric that are coming in the mail, because I need more dark colors, and right now I just don't want to, I don't want to die. It is hot here and we don't have AC or anything, so yeah, I'm not gonna die. I bought some just plain color fabric to use for some Halloween projects because Halloween is coming and I'm super excited. We have this project, which was a big fail. This is Hello Kitty, and I stitched this probably 10-12 years ago, something like that. this was for my my sister's son. The whole idea was to make it like a big patch that we could sew onto a backpack and he could have. But he grew out of Hello Kitty before I finished the project. However, we now have other little girls in the family on my boyfriend's side. So yeah, he wasn't a girl, but we have girls in the family on my boyfriend's side. So maybe I can make something for her with that. Maybe I can do that with all of these things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. For the last one, this is again a World of Cross Stitching project, and this is a Mallet Duck. And I don't know, I somehow have attached Mallet Ducks to my father, so I give him a lot of Mallet Ducks. It has to do with when I was little. So my father was a Coast Guard when I was little, and Coast Guards, the Swedish Coast Guard, the boat is blue and it has like 2 yellow lines on it. And if you've seen a female Mallet Duck, you will see that on the end of her, if you look at towards the back, on her back, you will see those kind of stripes. So I always myself kind of mentally attached Mallet Ducks to my father. And then just a couple of years ago they got a new boat with which they actually called Mallet Duck. So I'm not the only one who does it. So this was actually stitched for him, but I haven't gotten it into a frame yet. So we'll see if that will happen. But yeah, that was all of my projects. Are there any of them that you would like to stitch or are interested in? Do you have a pile like me? Do you have like this huge pile? Like, these are 27 projects that I finished but not fully finished. And as I was talking to you, I realized that I probably have 1 or 2 more lying somewhere. I think I know where the frosted pumpkin stitcher is. It might actually be among my quilting fabrics because that is where we store cross-stitch projects. But anyhow, I want to say thank you so much for watching. This was super fun. I really enjoy this. As I said before, there will be links in the description down below if that is something you are looking for. Sadly, I cannot link to anything of the world of cross-stitching because I don't have any of the magazines anymore. About a year, 2 years ago, maybe before, like 2018 to 2019 probably, I actually gave all of them away. I had almost full subscriptions from like 2006 to 2012, and then again I started, no, I think I just continued on, so it can have been on the way to 2018. It was a lot of magazines and I wasn't using them, and I felt like I've been using more and more like digital magazines, digital things. And then the World of Cross Stitching magazine do have an app, so anything 2012, from 2012 and forward, you can actually buy the magazines. So that's something I would recommend if you like the magazines but don't want to buy the magazine. Because here's the thing, here in Sweden, to get the magazine from the UK, I would have to pay in Sweden because they do import the World of Cross Stitching here, but I would have to pay like $15 or $16 per magazine, while digitally you can get them for $5.5. So I'd rather buy them digitally, and then you can get all the back issues, you know. But yeah, that was all for me today. I thought you would want to say hi to Gizmo. So this is my little cat. Okay, he's not so little. He's not so little. This is Gizmo. He's one of our 2 cats. He's the brother. He was the runt of the family, so he came out last, but he's also the biggest now. Leia is his sister. She's completely white. They look completely different, but they come from the same litter. So yeah, they're super cute. So there you go. I see if I can carry him up. Here's Gizmo. He's been keeping me company while I've been making this video. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you want to come back. If you like this video, please thumbs it up. If you have any questions, just comment down below. And if you want to see more videos, just hit that subscribe button, the bell, all those fancy things. And I will see you next week. Bye!